John's Pantry of a Bird. All right, Yuki, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Do it.
You are traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. That's the signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Of course your phone started making noise as soon as you said the Twilight Zone, because that's what happens in the Twilight Zone. Things go wrong, things get fucked up. We are in the Twilight Zone, Yuki. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. That's one of the narrations that Rod Serling used to do. There's another one. Here, I'll read the other one. There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone. Ha, 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 ha.
I think he's the one with the great writer in the business.
Genius,
yeah, because his writing is...
Rod Serling you're talking about.
Yes, Rod Serling.
Yeah, of course, the creator.
He started as a TV writer, but actually he does a good movie script too.
Well, absolutely. You ever see Requiem for a Heavyweight?
Oh, yeah, that's the best. Anthony Quinn, the
both
boxing.
versions. They did the Playhouse 90.
Right, Playhouse, yes.
TV version, and then they did the Anthony Quinn.
Right, Anthony Quinn.
With Jackie Gleason.
Yes.
Movie version. Both
are great.
He also wrote Patterns, which is really cool.
Uh-huh.
Of course, the big one. Planet
of the Apes.
Of the Dogs. No, Apes, yeah.
And then there's a TV movie called Doomsday Flight.
Right, that's right. You told me about Doomsday Flight on another episode, and I wrote it down, and I keep forgetting to watch it. That sounds like it's basically Speed on a plane.
Right, because, this guy put the bomb on the plane, and then once plane takes off, it will be on. Then once plane goes down to less than 5,000 feet, it explodes. So that's basically Speed.
So Graham Yost, the writer of Speed, took Doomsday Flight and just put it on a bus with Keanu Reeves.
Yep.
Sandra Bullock.
Very smart. The plane landed in Denver.
You told me that was the solution, because it's 3,000...
Denver airport is higher than 5,000 feet. That's like a 1 mile high city.
Genius.
So it's a genius. That's why plane didn't go... they didn't get explosion. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's a smart writing. Yeah.
Smart. Yeah, he's a brilliant. So, in case anybody didn't know, this episode is all about the Twilight Zone. And we're going to be talking a lot about Mr. Rod Serling, a lot about other writers who shaped the Twilight Zone. There were so many: Richard Matheson, Charles Beaumont, Robert Bloch.
And then many wrote also for Hitchcock.
Yes, absolutely. There's an article I'll share out with this.
Hitchcock Present or Hitchcock Hour? Or?
Yes, they also wrote for Thriller, which Boris Karloff hosted. They also wrote for others, probably The Outer Limits, all this stuff.
Outer Limits, yeah, Night Gallery. Those are all 50s, 60s TV anthology thing. It's a great writer. And later, some of them became a great screenwriter.
Absolutely. Some of them wrote for Roger Corman. Richard Matheson wrote for Roger Corman and stuff like that. So this article here is on rodserling.com, actually. And the title of the article is Southern California Sorcerers. This will be down in the show notes. I'll link to this. This is a great article. It's very long, but it's really entertaining and interesting. And it's all about this group of writers who worked on all these things. You had Ray Bradbury, interestingly enough, didn't really contribute that much to the Twilight Zone because he kind of thought Rod Serling was a hack, I guess. Or he had a friction with Rod Serling because he thought Rod Serling was cherry-picking ideas from all great science fiction writers.
Is he jealous? I mean, it's
maybe jealous because Ray Bradbury also had his own show too. The Ray Bradbury.
Yeah.
So maybe he's jealous, or maybe in the beginning Rod Serling was stealing it. No, I don't know. I really don't know. But it's in this article, And it basically is like Ray Bradbury, Charles Beaumont, William F. Nolan, George Clayton Johnson, who wrote Logan's Run. And then other people like Richard Matheson, Robert Bloch, who wrote Psycho, Jerry Soule, Harlan Ellison, who wrote some stuff for Star Trek,
Right.
all this stuff. They were in Southern California. They were outstandingly gifted men, collectively referred to by several names: the Southern California School of Writers, or the Green Hand, which is a play on the Mafia's Black Hand, or they were simply called the Group. They were just this group of writers who would get together and share ideas. Sometimes they would come up with stories together, and then one of them would say, "That's not my style. You take that one and write it," and this and that. So they were all helping each other come up with this renaissance of science fiction storytelling.
Wow, that's
And horror. Yeah. It's great, right? And then they worked on, it says here, Thriller, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, One Step Beyond,
Right.
The Twilight Zone, and so many more. So we're going to put this article in the show notes. There's a lot to unfold because Charles Beaumont was a writer on like so many Twilight Zone episodes. Of course, the great Richard Matheson. I have 2 books of his original screenplays for the Twilight Zone.
The Omega Man is Richard Matheson, right? The Regent, the
what? Which one?
Omega Man.
Yes. So the original novel he wrote, I Am Legend, became not only Omega Man, but it also came The Last Man on Earth with Richard Price. Vincent Price.
Vincent Price. Yeah.
But yeah, Richard Matheson, he wrote some of the best. And one of the best Twilight Zones we were talking about upstairs with my mom.
Did he write the birds?
Which one?
Bird.
The Birds? No. I don't know who wrote The Birds. We'll find out. But he wrote The Invaders.
Oh, Invaders.
He also wrote Nightmare at 20,000 Feet.
That's right. Oh, yeah. He's a
son of a bitch. He fucking wrote some of the best ones. You know what's one of my favorites that I think he wrote? The one with William Shatner and his wife, where they go into a town and I guess they're having some car trouble or something or other, and they have to stay there for a while, and they go to this diner, and in the diner at the table there's a fortune-telling machine, and William Shatner starts to put the coins in this machine, and then he's getting these messages, but he starts to get more and more freaked out because he thinks that they're telling him not to go and to stay, and he starts to listen, and the wife is like, "Don't listen to this machine," but then she starts to believe it because things start happening. Great. That's one of my favorite episodes. I think it's called Nick of Time.
Title sounds familiar, but I don't remember. I have to see it again.
It's really fucking great.
I think either Prime or Tubi has all Twilight Zone. I think.
For sure, Paramount Plus has all of them. For sure, but I'm sure they're on other stations. What are some of your favorites?
My favorite is the Nightmare at the 20,000, the Goblin thing.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just like the most.
But
famous
I didn't
classic.
like the movie remake. I thought that the monster looks ridiculous. The TV version is more goofier but scarier.
It's just the TV version. There's something to me about the black and white, right? Already off the bat. When it's in black and white, it really is another universe, the way that Rod Serling is describing it. Because most of us anyway, humans, see in color and vivid.
Right. And in that time, the 50, 60, just a TV show, industry didn't have that new technology. So the way it was great.
Yeah.
Like original Star Trek and then cheesy set, and those are great times.
Great TV shows.
But in the remake of the movie Twilight Zone, too much special effect. Of course, Alien looked more advanced, but I didn't like it.
I thought John Lithgow gave a good performance, though. He was freaking out pretty good. I mean, you can't beat Shatner's overacting.
Shatner, yeah.
I just watched a great Outer Limits episode with Shatner.
Oh.
And it's about him. He goes to Venus for some reason. He's an astronaut. He goes to Venus, and he comes back, and he starts to freak out. I mean, he's becoming an alien life form. It's a great episode, and it has one of the best best. I mean, even fucking Star Trek, it has one of the best William Shatner freakouts.
Wow,
He starts to freak out in front of his wife, and he hits her, but not on purpose because he's like flailing around and stuff. Oh, and he just does that great.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know? whenever William Shatner squirms or is scared, it's just so
Those
good.
50s, 60s movie, like later they became a big star, but many people unknown back then. Lots of people are in it.
Oh, in the Twilight Zone?
Yeah, like Robert Redford or, you know.
Burgess Meredith was in multiple ones.
Yeah.
Jack Klugman, multiple ones.
Those are good.
Yeah. I wonder, did Ray Milland ever show up in one? He's a great actor, too.
He may be. I mean, I'm not surprised if he is in it.
Yeah. There was so many great actors. I mean, just every week was another showcase of
Clint
beautiful...
Eastwood was in some.
He was in a Twilight Zone?
I think so, yeah. I mean, small part, but... yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's so cool. Yeah, what a great time, because there's just something about the atmosphere. That's the problem with, to me, a lot of modern horror is, it's probably because of me personally, is when I'm watching these things, I don't get the feeling that I get when I watch The Twilight Zone. It affects me in not just a nostalgic way, but there's something about the black and white atmosphere, the music, the acting, the very stylized way.
And then scary you is a psychological way or intellectual way, not like a jump.
Boo!
So yeah.
I mean, sometimes they have boo moments, but it's more. Yeah, it's more of a cycle. I mean, just think about this: the one where Burgess Meredith really is.
Right.
He gets left behind for the nuclear weapons or whatever, and he's in the vault, and then he comes out and he's like, "I'm can read forever now. I'm fucking the last man here," and then his glasses break.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Of course he's gonna want to be dead after that. He can't see. He can't do what he loves.
So those little things, you know, it's like good and bad, good and bad. It's kind of reverse or
psychologically, philosophical, existential. It's beautiful. So many pieces of beautiful, and then the twists also. A lot of times there's a big twist,
surprise, and then it's not straight. It's always tricky and then surprise you.
Yeah.
The one I like is the operation thing.
Eye of the Beholder.
Yeah.
So Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, Eye of the Beholder, those the Invaders, those are some of the ones that are the most famous.
Right.
But Eye of the Beholder is probably the best one. As far as what it means, what the twist is, the way that they shot it.
Right.
To keep that surprise.
Because when you see first time, you see the beautiful face.
Yeah.
And then they're talking about, we failed again. You don't know what they're talking about.
Right. You have no idea that these motherfuckers are pig people.
Yeah.
Or whatever they are. And what a great design, because it's very simple. Just the lip is curled, the nose is like a pig. But yeah, they say she's ugly.
So
and then
it's
she meets...
reverse. She it's the beauty and then ugly. It's reversed world. So
yeah. I love that shit. I love what's the other one that's really famous? To Serve Man.
The cookbook.
Yeah. It's a cookbook.
It's a cookbook. Yeah. That was Richard Gere.
Oh yeah. And then that guy who played the alien was Lurch.
Oh.
From the Addams Family.
Ah.
Yeah. There's so many fucking things. It's so great.
Right.
I love all this stuff, and that's why I don't know when they tried to reboot them.
They didn't like the reboot them. It didn't
Neither
work
reboot.
out.
Maybe there's 3, 4 reboot. Who knows how many reboots? I don't know. I tried some. Not so good.
I don't get it. You can beat the original. You can be better than Rod Serling. Or why people bother to do that? I mean, they think they can be better than Rod Serling. I mean, come on. Who wants to see?
It's just
somebody wrote repainting a Mona Lisa. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Is so say Jordan Peele, right? He became the new host of the new Twilight Zone.
Right.
Why not just make his own anthology show? Alfred Hitchcock had Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Right. Rod Serling had the Twilight Zone. The Outer Limits, I don't think, had a host. At least the episodes I've watched didn't really have a host. Why not just do his own anthology show? Why does it have to be retread? Because automatically there's people like you and me who are going to go, oh, God.
Yeah.
But if he did an original anthology series, I might go, ooh, that's fucking cool.
Okay, Spielberg did his own
Amazing Story.
Did you like it?
I did. I always remember the one Amazing Stories where the guy is in the plane and he gets caught and sealed in.
Right.
And then he's an artist, and then at the end he draws the fucking landing gear.
That was a good one.
That's a great. I think Spielberg actually directed that one. But when I was a kid and I saw that, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like it blew my mind. That fucking episode. I don't really remember a lot of the other ones. You know what's good? Tales from the Dark Side. You ever watch that show?
Oh yes.
Now that is on par with, in the 80s at least. That is the 80s version of the Twilight Zone.
I think. The production designer, he hired me originally, like he's my mentor. I think he did some, not all of them,
but some of the
some episode he designed.
Oh wow! So you're connected to Tales from the Dark Side.
Well, I mean, I never did. I mean, he hired me. That was already the show was over. But so.
What about Tales from the Crypt? That's a great one too. That's a great fucking anthology.
Zemeckis was part of that, right?
Who? Oh, yeah, Zemeckis.
Zemeckis, yeah.
Walter Hill.
Right,
they produced it, yeah. And I think that's probably why a lot of the reason why HBO can't stream it anymore is just too many people involved.
Because that time, unless you have a subscription to HBO, you cannot see it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it wasn't as big as those shows, because other show was all free.
Right.
That wasn't cable TV.
Right. So. And now the rights are so screwed up, they can't even do a Blu-ray. No. I don't know. They should figure that out. And maybe there's music license. Who knows?
Right.
But that's, the Twilight Zone is something so comforting where even when we were used to shoot Joe Bob, at night I would be sitting in bed and MeTV I would put on, and they would have late night Twilight Zone. It was just so comforting to watch these episodes and to just kind of drift off into this weird nightmare world. There's something comforting about it. Here's another episode that I think actually I might have watched it on MeTV was The Shelter. You ever see that episode where it starts at a birthday party or something, and this family in some sort of a Main Street USA, they're all having a great time. And then there's some sort of a nuclear threat that happens. And the only person at the party who's prepared for nuclear war is this one dad. And he takes his whole family home, and they go into the bunker, and they close it up. But then all the neighbors start to try to break in or try to get in and convince him to let them in. And he's like, no, I prepared for my family. I only have enough food for my family.
Right.
None of you could get in. If you do get in, you're going to murder us because we can't all survive.
Right.
And then slowly throughout the episode, more people come. They try to break the door down. And then at the end, no spoilers, but spoilers, they get in. The neighbors get in. And they're all in a frenzy because the nuclear war is about to happen. And then it turns out it was just a false alarm.
Oh.
But then the dad goes, you murdered us. Anyway, he tells the neighbors, you killed us. Because they would have all died because of them. Yeah. It's a great fucking episode.
I have to see it. I don't remember that one.
Or what about what's the one with the little boy who has the psychic powers, who controls everybody's minds, and he could read all their thoughts? I forgot the name of that one, but it's really freaky.
I have to see it again. And I mean, originally it was like, 50 years ago? I don't remember. I mean, I still see sometimes, but...
Well, besides Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, what's another? Invaders, like you said earlier?
Right, this farm lady is fighting with the alien, and we think alien, but it's actually, it's us.
The U.S.
And then this, little creatures, spaceship is from Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
that
little,
was great. Yeah.
Little Neil Armstrong kind of
right.
aliens
and then his spaceship says NASA, U.S. Air Force. And
great
so
twist.
Actually, this farm lady is alien. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was a great episode. Yeah.
There's a few, because they used to shoot all these on film.
Right.
All the episodes. But then there was a block of them where the studio wanted to cut down on costs. I don't know what the studio was at the time, probably Paramount. And they forced Rod Serling to shoot on cameras, TV cameras from the day. So there's a few. Some of them don't work, but there's one that really works. It's called 22. I won't say anything about it, but everybody go watch 22. It's a really fucking nice. And it's almost more claustrophobic because it's shot on television cameras.
So is that works better as a TV camera, not the film?
I think that because of the limitation, that specific story worked better. Definitely. But some of them didn't. I remember watching some of the other video ones, and I said, this could have been better with the more production value of the film or getting out of the studio instead of being confined to a few sets. But yeah, a lot of those episodes went all over the place. They were out in main streets and TV houses and all kinds of stuff they did. What's some other episodes you remember?
This one guy going around a small town and nobody's there. And this is his name, Al Holliman. He's not the big star, but he did lots of movies later. But that time he's just the only one looking around the small town, nobody there. And in the end, actually, this is a military experience. Everything was happening in his mind.
Isn't that the first episode?
Maybe the episode 1, season 1.
Episode 1, season 1. Hold on, I'm going to pull this up. I think that might be the first episode.
I don't know the title, but the guy was Al Holliman.
Where is Everybody? Yeah, that's the very first episode.
Okay, Where is Everybody?
Yeah, Robert Stevens directed by, Rod Serling wrote it, Bernard Herrmann did the music.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great fucking episode. And it turns out it's all in his mind. It's a military experiment.
Military experiment.
That's a great one. There's another one that Richard Matheson wrote that's really good. And I remember reading the script before I watched it again. And I saw it when I was a kid, but I didn't really remember it. Where the fighter pilot is in some sort of a battle, and then he goes back in time, and people are like, "What the fuck?" There's some reason he goes back in time, and nobody believes what he is, and all this stuff, and then he has to go back to the future to save everybody. That's a great one too. I forgot the name of that one. Oh yeah, it's just so funny because I've seen all these things so many times, but then they all blend together in my mind as one big piece. It's not always just the individual episodes. It's the one piece of the Twilight.
Sometimes it confused because I think it's Twilight Zone, but actually it was Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Yeah, those are also, they have those on MeTV as well, and I was watching some of them. Those are great too, but they're not obviously science fiction. They're more crime-oriented and stuff like that.
One I like, I can't remember it's the Twilight Zone or Hitchcock. There's one guy tried to escape from the prison, and then he what he does in the prison was he take care of the coffin. The prisoner died, so he take care of the prison, put in the coffin, and then Undertaker comes and pick up the body, right? And then somehow he make a deal with hey, I want to get out, I want to escape. So he goes, okay, so this day I come pick up, so you just hide in the coffin. So that day comes, he hide in the coffin, waiting, and nobody pick him up. So he put the light, and then guy died in that day. He found out that is the Undertaker.
Oh, shit.
So there's nobody pick him up because the guy supposed to pick up the coffin was dead.
Oh.
So he was sleeping, hiding with his body.
Oh, my God.
So I can't remember that was Hitchcock or Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I don't remember that one, so that might be the Hitchcock.
Oh.
God damn.
That's like a scary story, right? I mean, it's twist.
Hell yeah. That is a twist. That's a big twist. I mean, one of my biggest fears is being buried alive. I motherfuckers don't want to be buried alive by nobody. I'd rather do a lot of things than be buried alive. What about the hitchhiker? Remember that episode where the lady's kind of being she keeps thinking that she's seeing the guy on the road over and over and over again, and she sees him on the road. She picks up another hitchhiker to keep her company, and then she swerves off the road and all that stuff. That's a great episode too.
I kind of remember, not exactly. How about Third Eye? This diner.
Oh yeah.
He's actually alien. He has a third eye in the head.
That's right. That's amazing.
I can't remember the titles though.
Yeah, some of them, that's what I'm saying. Some of the titles don't come to my mind. That's why, I just looked it up. The one that I was talking about is The Last Flight, where it happens that he I don't know, something happens, and then he goes back in time, and then he's got to go back to help and save the fucking universe. That's a great one. What else, Yuki? There were a lot of good directors too, right?
Right, those. Well, actually, lots of great director came from TV industry, like William Friedkin, and then Sidonie Lumet, and
Don Siegel, I know, directed a couple of them.
Siegel, yeah, Don Siegel. I think Sam Peckinpah maybe directed some.
He directed an episode? Sam Peckinpah? Holy shit!
I'm not sure if he did the Twilight Zone, but I know he did the TV western.
A lot of TV westerns and stuff.
Yeah, like what's Stephen McQueen the TV show? What's called?
Steve McQueen TV
Yeah,
show?
yeah.
I don't remember.
Some western.
Gunsmoke, Rifleman,
Gunsmoke,
Wagon
not-
Train.
Something, but yeah, I know
Have Gun Will Travel.
God,
What else? Let's see. Who else is on here? James Sheldon. He directed a lot of these. James Sheldon, a television director. He did the Twilight Zone, The Fugitive, The Donna Reed Show, MASH,
Fugitive, yeah.
Route 66, The Dukes of Hazzard.
Right.
I mean, this is crazy. This guy's career. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., My Three
Oh my
Sons,
God.
Petticoat Junction, Naked City, Sledgehammer. Holy shit!
No wonder those old TV shows are a lot better than today's.
Yeah, because he's directed his balls off. I mean, this guy, when did he sleep? He didn't sleep once. What about your books that you brought, Yuki? What are those books there? There's like 3 or 4 books that you brought.
Yes. These,
Let's see. Okay. The first one you got here is called Visions from the Twilight Zone by Arlen Schumer. And this looks like a great book that just has all this, it's basically like the art of the Twilight Zone.
Right, so lots of picture in it.
A lot of pictures, a lot of the quotes from the show, a lot of there's some information here about what it was about and the history of the show.
Yeah.
This is cool. This is like a beautiful art book, coffee table book.
This is some TV museum, broadcast museum.
Oh shit!
They had some kind of exhibition. So
Right. So this says the Museum of Broadcasting.
yeah.
And it's Rod Serling, Dimensions of the Imagination. And this exhibit, I guess, went on from February 24th to May 3rd, 1984.
Holy shit, that's already 40 years ago.
40 fucking years ago. Can you believe that shit? You got, it has a section here about Requiem for a Heavyweight and Patterns. And then it goes on about the Twilight Zone. This is cool, Yuki. Where'd you get this one?
Well, I went to the exhibition, so I bought it.
You went to the exhibition of this in
Yeah.
1984?
Yeah.
Wow, that's sick. And you kept this all these years.
Yes.
You are a collector. Oh, look, it has his whole, it's basically has his IMDb, but in a nice, more artful, beautiful way. And it says all the things that he did, all of the plays, all of the other TV shows he wrote for. He wrote for
Right.
Suspense Theater. He wrote for the Kraft Television Theater. Playhouse 90, of course. That's the
That's
famous
right.
Playhouse 90 where he did those beautiful television plays.
The Requiem was for Playhouse, right?
That's right. Requiem, Patterns was a different thing, but yeah, they did The Comedian, The Dark Side of Earth, Panic Button, Bomber's Moon. I wonder if some of these are are probably free on YouTube. Oh, Climax. That was another suspense show. Oh yeah, and then the Twilight Zone. There's just too many to count. Then I guess he went off and did. Oh yeah, the Night Gallery.
Night Gallery, yeah.
Now Night Gallery, that was more science fiction, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that was, and I heard that wasn't really his original idea. That he kind of was just hired to be.
And
a
then
host.
the Night Gallery, one episode Steven Spielberg directed.
That's right. That was his one of his first jobs, or maybe even his first job as a director.
Yeah,
a professional director. Also, I love to bring up Columbo. He directed.
Oh
Columbo.
yes, the Murder by the Book.
Yeah. What are these other? You have 2 more books here. This is crazy. You have a crazy Twilight Zone collection.
Yeah, Twilight Zone. I love Twilight Zone. So I correct.
What's this? Film Magazine Spotlight on the Twilight Zone. Oh, the new series 2. What? So this is all about the new updated series.
Is that the reboot one?
This is about the reboot. Holy shit, Yuki. Oh, look, a picture of Elliot Gould. I guess Elliot Gould was in an episode of... Yeah, this one actually lists all the 80s reboot of the Twilight. Oh, look, John Milius. He worked on that.
I guess so, huh?
Holy shit. Maybe the pedigree for this isn't so bad.
80s, that's still already 40 years ago. Holy shit.
Oh, Adrian Barbeau? Oh. Whoa. All right, maybe there's a reason to give this one another chance. Oh, written by Harlan Ellison? Holy shit. Yuki, this is maybe...
it's collector's item?
Well, yes, a collector's item for sure, but maybe it's time to give the 80s one a chance. Look, this one was directed by Wes Craven.
Wow.
It stars M. Emmett Walsh, one of my favorite characters. Morgan Freeman?
He did?
What the fuck? This is crazy. All right, Yuki, maybe we got to give this another chance, Yuki. Maybe. This is too many people to count that I love. Amazing. Okay, so that one is The Twilight Zone, the new series, number 2 by John Peel. And then this is my favorite book of all that you brought here. This is The Twilight Zone Companion by Mark Scott Zicree. And it's the complete show-by-show guide to one of the greatest television series ever. And it's basically an Encyclopedia Britannica for every episode. And it lists every single...
all episodes, right? That the Rod Serling ones, right?
All of them. The whole original Rod Serling. And it has the opening narration, the closing narration, synopsis of what the episode was, and then the cast and crew. Look at here. This Dennis Hopper was in one.
Holy shit.
Called He's Alive from 1963, written by Rod Serling. That's cool. I never saw that one. Oh, look, fucking Robert Duvall. I forgot that he's in one. Also 1963. So this is a great book. I'm going to actually buy this book, Yuki. I don't care how much it costs. You got oh my God, there's so many motherfuckers over here. This is dude, this book, all right, we're going to find this book and we're going to buy this for everybody. Yeah?
Well, maybe Amazon book may have it.
It might have it. It might be a couple of bucks because this looks like an older book. When was this released? Probably the 80s, right?
80s?
Holy shit. Oh, yeah, Night Call. Remember that one?
Oh.
But based on the story, Long Distance Call by Richard Matheson. Directed by... the one and only Jacques Turner.
Oh my God.
Are you fucking kidding me? That was directed by Jacques Turner. Jacques Turner, the great director who started with Val Lewton doing I Walked with a Zombie and The Cat People. And then he went on to do Out of the Past, one of the best film noirs ever. Jacques Turner directed an episode of The Twilight Zone. Who the fuck knew? And that's one of the best episodes, too. Holy shit. Did you know this, Yuki?
What?
That the person who directed Nightmare at 20,000 Feet was the one and only Richard Donner.
He directed?
The original fucking episode.
Oh my God.
Richard Donner, for those who don't know, the man who directed The Goonies, Lethal Weapon, Superman.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what the fuck? Yuki, this is making me so excited to watch all this shit again because now I know more than I ever did about this goddamn shit. Ooh, Mickey Rooney was in an episode called The Last Night of a Jockey. That's right, I forgot he plays the jockey and he's all mad. There's a picture of so pissed off Mickey Rooney, angry as fuck. Oh, Yuki, this is a book to. Oh my God. But
Oh,
anyway, yeah,
Amazon Book has it, $21.
I'm buying it right now, and that's my word. That is my word.
Oh, wait a minute,
Hmm?
even better. Original paperback, that's $8.
There we go.
Here.
I'm buying that shit. Oh yeah, perfect. Good. All right. Oh my goodness. All right, Yuki. Any other things to talk about the Twilight Zone? Because I think we covered a lot of bases here, and we're
Yes.
putting this out the week of New Year's. Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year.
Because I guess at the end of the when is New Year's this year?
The-
I think it's at the end of the week, right? I think. Hold on, I'm gonna look at December here. December, yeah. So the December. No. Oh, Yuki. So we're
Yeah.
gonna put this episode out on Monday the 30th, and then the 31st, everybody could watch the goddamn Twilight Zone marathon.
Oh.
31st and the 1st.
that would be great.
What a great year it's been, right?
That's right.
Not really, but no, it has been. It's been ups and downs. 2024 for me has been one of the craziest years of my entire life. I've had some of the highest highs and I've had some of the lowest lows. But I'll say this to be honest, so many people have helped me this year. Some of the people friends, some people family, but some people complete strangers who came to my aid during my biggest crisis that I ever had, which was the fire that destroyed my home. And I just can't believe how many people are so kind and generous in this universe, where it makes even the worst people not matter, because you know that, at least I know now, that there are great, good people out there. And as soon as people show their fucking true colors and their pieces of shit, all you have to do is cut them out of your life and go looking for the better people.
Yeah, I mean, those things, crisis, it's a good time to find out who really your friends are.
Who's your friend and who's your enemy, or who cares about you and who doesn't? Because let's be honest, there's some people who absolutely don't give a fuck. I mean, there's basic human decency, and this year some people revealed themselves to not even have that. I mean, there's people who I worked with for years that didn't even contact me after my fire. I mean, and it's not like I'm looking for any sort of handout or any sort of thing like that. But when somebody in your darkest hour doesn't give a squirt of piss for you, you know, I'm on fire and they wouldn't
Right,
even
I mean,
piss
it's
on
not
me.
about the money. I mean, it's like do they care, right? I mean, it's like
No, and they obviously don't, and that's why, you know, moving on and moving up to bigger and better circumstances, because why give your energy and time to people who don't give a fuck whether you live or die? That's my concern in this day and age, is like, I've done so much for myself, but I've also given myself over to other people. And I've helped people's dreams come true. I mean, I really have. So when those people whose dreams I've helped come true then don't even give a fuck that my life is in turmoil, don't even contact a text or a phone call or a fucking telegram or anything to say, hey, are you okay?
right.
No, not even that. Fuck that shit. That's why I cut a lot of motherfuckers out of my life this year. But I also am so grateful for the people who are in my life who have helped. And I can only hope that when it comes down to it and they have their moments of darkness, that I'll be able to help in some way, because this year's tragedies has taught me the lesson of the year for me. And I've said this a few times, is impermanence. All of this fucking shit is impermanent. We're not here for a very long time. Things change in a fucking split second. We really don't have a lot of time. So when you concentrate on people who don't give a fuck about you, you're wasting your precious life. That's really what I learned this year. And this year, to me, was like an episode of The Twilight Zone. I'm telling you. It really was.
I see.
It was a fucking episode of The Twilight Zone. So, but through that episode of The Twilight Zone, I learned the lessons, which is believe in yourself, believe in the people who believe in you, and do as much good as you can for people around you. Because when it comes time for your darkness, then that means people will come and help you. But on the flip side of that coin, there are people who you give to, and then when it comes time for them to even just give you a little fucking popcorn kernel even just a small little fucking copper penny, they won't even fucking look at you. They'll go the other way and give that penny right in their own pocket and say, fuck that piece of fucking dog shit, John Brennan. And that's what they did this year, and that's why I'm not, involved anymore.
That bad?
That bad, Yuki. It's funny because life is a dichotomy, right? And it's a yin and yang, the whole thing. And it really does fluctuate. This year has proven the existence of pure good to me and the existence of pure scum evil. It really has. And that people, even in your closest circle, some people do not give a fuck about you. They would fucking rather see you die than have to help you. I'm not even joking. Like, that is the truth. And it took me this long I'm 45. It took me this long to realize I've always saw the good in people, and I always excuse people's bad behaviors. I've always said, this and that. But I've figured out that this year I am a short-term pessimist and a long-term optimist. I feel that in the short term, things are always going to get fucked up. Things are going to get fucked up day to day. Some tragedy is going to happen. Somebody you know is going to get sick. All these things are going to happen. But over the long term, life can be good. As long as you take those tragedies, you learn from them, you move on, and you do good for others.
Right.
And that's going to be my fucking 2025 is going to be all about doing the best I can for me and the people who love me. And that's it. That was the Twilight Zone by Yuki and John.
John and Yuki, Twilight Zone.
Any other thoughts, Yuki, before we close out this year and this Twilight Zone episode?
Well, I mean, Twilight Zone, I think we can't see it. We can't touch it. But it exists, I think.
I think it does exist. I think there is a version of the Twilight Zone because... So look at the things like the Mandela effect, right?
Right.
Something like that where everybody has a mass delusion about remembering something. That's not something to sneeze at. That's something that is actually there. Right. Even though it might be people are fucked up and just don't remember and are stupid. No, there might be more to it. There might be that we're hopping through different dimensions and different... the walls of different dimensions are coming down. Right. That's why we remember one thing one way and not another way, or all that shit. I mean, the Fruit of the Looms thing, that blew my mind. There's no cornucopia on the Fruit of the Looms. I thought there was always a cornucopia. I really did. That's not me being stupid. That's the Twilight Zone.
I think, Murphy's Law. It's in a way, it's Twilight Zone then, kind of.
Sure. Anything that can go wrong will.
Right.
And that's why we all have to be, I think, kinder to each other in our general circles. Right. I've really tried to be more patient with people and to not blow up as much as I want to sometimes. I mean, look, when I'm talking to my mother and she does a question avalanche, I mean, I'm living with my mother again in my 40s because of my fire. And it's sometimes I wake up in the morning and all I want to do is get a cup of coffee and sit down on my computer. And I walk in and it's like, what are you doing? How you doing? Where you going? But on the flip side of that, I'm lucky to still have my mother around and she's doing good and she's healthy. So I'll endure that question avalanche without going, leave me alone! So, just things like that, Yuki, And I'm grateful for you, buddy. Man, you've really been a godsend into my life. No joke.
Well, no, I didn't do much.
Yes, you did. You've always kind of you've always been a very truthful person, and you've also done this podcast. I mean, I don't even know what episode we're on. You stuck this out, and people love this podcast. People come up and say you have a great podcast. Like all the time, I'm being contacted about how much people like this show.
We getting more people?
Our episodes keep growing, and people always compliment it. People ask questions. People give suggestions. I mean, we're growing the audience slowly but surely. We're never losing, ever. We're always gaining slowly. So, I mean, think about it this way. This is the way I think about it. If you have a few hundred people in a room and you have a live show, that's a lot of people who are listening to you. So to have that amount of people listening to us every week is fucking awesome, right? It's like every week we're doing a live show in front of a multiple hundreds of people. Anything to say to people about your year or happiness or how you live your life?
Oh, we're going New Year's resolution?
No, we're gonna do that next. Next week we'll talk about New Year's resolutions. But any final words for the year, because this will be the last episode of 2024.
Oh, well, it's always think about hope next year is better than this year. That kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you have a good year?
It was okay year though for me. I mean, work-wise, I'm not retiring, but the work between job, it's getting longer and longer. I guess it's a natural thing, right? I mean, I can still do. I'm not that old since I don't have a 9 to 5 job. I don't have to declare I'm retiring. I like to keep working, but reality is getting job is like a lot harder because project or company goes to younger people, and the younger people are cheaper than me. They don't care about quality or experience. It's easy for them to hire younger, cheaper people because so they can control more instead of working with older timer. They're expensive, more experience, talk too much, stubborn. So
well, that's why in 2025 we're going to put the Patreon into overdrive. We're going to bring this thing up to levels where you'll never have to work again, Yuki.
that would be nice, huh?
Yeah.
But I don't know, I mean, I like what I do, so I might get bored, just sitting watching the movie, TV, picking my nose. I mean, I rather, doing what I do. Yeah.
You should make stuff, man. You got to sell those last drive-in sets, the little handmade sets. You could sell those online.
Oh yeah, okay. Now I have 4 of them right now.
Really?
Yeah, and then I have I bought the material to build it more. So
you should list the 4 that you have on eBay. Take pictures, list them on eBay, and then I'll pump that shit out through my Twitter feed and say Yuki selling handmade last drive-in sets, and then we'll see if they sell, and you could price them out. Say whatever you paid for material.
Okay, I
and
can
then
give you
plus,
material. Yeah,
plus
material
50.
is 10, 20. Okay, material cost about $30-$40
per
set.
Okay, so I would say it's fair with labor and everything to say $100.
That would be then nice because I still have to spend a couple hours to make.
That's what I'm saying. You put in labor and then you also sign it, so you get a Yuki signature on the bottom. So for $100, you get a handmade Yuki thing that costs $30, $40 to make, plus labor, plus signature,
miniature
and shipping.
Miniature last drive-in set.
Yeah,
Yes.
So I think that's a fair price. So this is the last week. We'll put it up on. Put it up. Start an eBay page. Take the pictures. Describe it, and then I'll pump the shit out of it on Twitter. On both of our Twitters.
What should I do first? Send you a photo first?
No. Start an eBay. You know how to do the eBay page?
I have no idea.
Oh, see, now I'm getting involved.
I'm sorry.
I'll set it up for you, but you got to learn how to edit it.
Okay.
And then once you do, then you could sell it on your own, because people will take the order. The only thing you got to probably sign. I don't know how it works because I never did an eBay thing, but maybe like PayPal or something. You need to be involved in that.
Shit, those. God damn, I don't even have PayPal.
It's not that hard, Yuki. You want to make money or you don't want to make money? You're sitting on $400 of gold right now.
What do you mean $400 of gold?
You may $200 profit. If you have 4 if you have 4 of those sets, handmade sets made, and they cost you $40, you have a profit of $60 that you can make, roughly.
Yeah. But I mean, I have to spend the 2-3 hours to make. So that's like what, $20 an hour labor?
Yeah, but that's
okay.
that ain't bad for a side hustle.
Yeah.
Or fucking charge $125.
I mean, people buy small set $125.
I really don't know. I mean, you got to test the waters and see what happens.
I see.
I would say 100's fair.
Right, I think so. 100 is okay.
Yeah, you know, you do make 2 a week, because that's what also makes them interesting, is that they're rare.
Right.
You're not going to mass produce these things.
No.
There's going to be a very small set. So what you could also do is number them.
Oh, it's like a limited edition.
Yeah, you
number.
say 1, right? You get number 1. That's going to be the most valuable one. Then you get number 2, number 3.
Right.
And then you just make them as you go, slowly. And then you never know, Yuki, over the course of the years, $20 an hour, a few hours a week. That's a lot of money for a buffet.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, but just I don't know. I don't know how to do eBay thing.
Well, we'll have to figure it out. Or maybe there's somebody out there who could be your manager or your agent.
That's right. I need a manager agent.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, you need a manager. I think you could find a manager at this point, Yuki.
Really?
You're so famous. You're famous enough that you can.
What do you mean I'm famous enough? No, I just do, last drive-in and this. That's not famous.
Yeah, there's enough people out there where you could get I bet you know what, Yuki? I bet you could have a fucking killer career in commercials.
No.
Yeah, I could see you on a McDonald's commercial.
Okay, remember when we went to the bar?
Yeah.
Once?
Yeah.
One guy asked, "Are you Yuki?" That's the only one time people ask me if I'm Yuki in the public place.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that you don't have personality and that people don't know who you are. There's a lot of people who know who you are, but also if you got some headshots and you went out for a couple of McDonald's auditions, I guarantee you would be eating McDonald's on screen and going, "I'm loving it." Yeah, absolutely.
I even worked at the McDonald's.
That's true. You started your career at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I could see you on a Verizon thing going, hello, with the bad reception. I could see all of it. You should be a commercial actor, Yuki. And you know what? If you hit the right commercial, you could buy a house. I knew a guy who was in one of the commercials. He was the McNugget guy. And people actually, it was funny. I forgot the guy's name. I worked with him in L.A. Stephen King used to have this year-end list in Entertainment Weekly of the things he hated the most in the year. And the thing that he listed was the McDonald's Chicken McNugget guy. And that was the guy I knew. But that guy was like, I don't give a fuck what Stephen King says. I bought my condo because of that commercial. Yeah.
I had if you have an international commercial, like a commercial during Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I heard one commercial and you can buy a house. That's what I heard.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. This guy, it was a commercial where he's sitting in his living room and he's basically talking to the camera and he looks like a drug addict and he goes, "Keep your hands off the Chicken McNuggets. Those are my Chicken McNuggets." Da da da. And that's all he had to do. And he fucking bought a condo in L.A.
Holy shit! Maybe I should
for
do
one
that.
afternoon of work. The residuals kept coming.
Right, that would be nice. You don't need acting skill to do commercial.
Fuck no, Yuki. If you get with the right brand, you wouldn't even be acting. You would be eating cheeseburgers going, "This is delicious."
How about Doritos?
Oh my God, you eat fucking 7 bags of Doritos and get a house.
That's nice. Is anybody hearing this and then does a TV commercial? You hire me then.
There you go, everybody. Listen, for Project 2025, forget about the Republicans' Project 2025.
Right.
This is Yuki's Project 2025. We want Yuki to become rich this year. And that's the project for all of us to help, okay?
That would be nice, yeah.
Yuki doesn't want to have to work against some young whippersnappers who don't want to help him. No, we want Yuki to be rich this year. We want him to buy a condo. We want him to eat a lot of great food. That's what this year's goal is.
Right, because, try to make a new movie, the new generation, they don't care about the quality of the movie. They always, "Oh, what the fuck this old guy talking?"
Well, that was Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
All right, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. You have a great year.
That's right, and stay safe. And next week, we'll be back with an episode about New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
We already kind of talked about it, but we'll talk about it again.
Yes.
All right, everybody. See you next year.
See you next year.
At the
buffet.
That's right.
Yuki and John's Patreon buffet.